Direct from historic downtown Orange, California, it's time for the Bob Gurr Show. From undersea adventures to highways in the sky, he's done it all. And now, here's your host, the man, the myth, the Disney legend, Bob Gurr.
Hey kids, I get a lot of people I love to talk to here. I probably have one of the most interesting guys I have ever talked to. I'm going to tell you, this guy has more careers in his life, and he's got a bunch of concurrent careers, and he can do them all together. This is the famous Spike. I know his first name. I know his name he really loves to use, and I won't use anything. I'm just going to say it's Spike. Those who know Spike, I don't have to say anything. But if you are one of the most unfortunate patron viewers of this program, and you've never heard of Spike, well, he's still going to be Spike, and you'll have a lot of fun, because after this program, you're going to go on the internet. He has, I think, over 100 of his serialized shows. Breezeway, down there in downtown Costa Mesa. I mean, this is an amazing place. We're in downtown Orange at KGUR. So, Mr. Spike.
Yes, sir.
You were so easy to research.
Oh.
And I'll give you a clue. The first one is I find everybody on Wikipedia except you. You are so interesting and so clever and a jack of all trades, and somehow Wikipedia has never noticed you. But you're on my show.
Yeah, okay. So you noticed me. I appreciate that, Bob.
That's right. Anyway, this is Spike. I won't read his real name, his first name, and his second name, or his age. You just take one look and you'll know all about Spike. He actually started as an art director, which is a fancy name for a T-shirt designer in the surfing industry.
Right.
Okay, that tells you a lot. He's one of those little surfer kids in Southern California poking around the beach, you know, doing all the stuff that surfers do that we don't talk about anymore. But you can justify your qualifications. You design T-shirts as the art director of a small shop, long gone. So that's how he got started. Knew the importance of titles.
Right.
He became, oddly enough, following that, a senior graphic designer at the Hyundai Design Company of North America. Sounds like an automobile company to me.
An automobile company, yeah.
All right. But if you go to YouTube, where you see him all the time, he has Spike's Breezeway Cocktail Hour, which is a series. Runs every week, does it roughly? Something like that. In the hundreds, I suppose, by now.
Yep.
He has guests, all kinds of guests. He brings in rum experts, Disney Imagineers. I was there, so that's fully qualified. Artists, pinup models, contortionists, and burlesque performers. Do you have a brass pole in your Breezeway? I'd like to come back someday and see how that would be done.
I got a bamboo pole.
Oh, it's better grip. You got
That's
some
right.
bumps on it. Oh, this makes great sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, with these live shows, he does additional live shows other than his at major events, such as the Hukalao and the Inferno Room. Sounds like volcanoes to me, yeah. But here's the important thing. There's a lot of Tiki people around the world, and they all brag about their Tiki interests. I assure you, there's only certain kinds of Tiki culture that are exactly right. And would you believe that little breezeway between a garage and a house, he filled that up with probably the most exotic, interesting, and authentic Tiki room I have ever seen. It's way better than the Golden Tiki in Las Vegas. Some of you know me from the Golden Tiki because my head is shrunken in the Golden Tiki in Las Vegas, and I have to share a shelf with Carrot Top. I mean, whatever
Carrot
my
Top.
reputation. But that's my connection with Tiki. Besides, I worked on Walt Disney's Tiki Room.
Yeah.
He sings. He's a guitarist. And he does that with YouTube with the Hula Girls. A really nice outfit. Everybody knows that. But now we come to the interesting part. He's a photographer featuring exotic ladies. I have seen so many beautiful photographs of beautiful girls looking even better through those photographs that he does. Honest, this is really tasteful photography. So this is quite a contrast with all the other things he has done and is still doing. But I have to say, overall, sir, I'd look at you as a multidisciplinary content creator specializing in photography, videography, video editing, and graphic design. And finally, a little bit of California beach car culture.
Yeah.
I met him a long time ago, and he had a car called a Econoline, a little Ford truck that was sort of a death trap, because most cars, you have all the wheels and everything in the front, and this thing has the wheels under your seat, and you have no protection forever when somebody's going to crash into you. He's restored it. It's a gorgeous green thing, perfect to put surfboards in the back and put one of those exotic ladies right up there in front with him. So this is the only connection I actually have with a guy that's multidisciplinary. You like car culture. You've been on Hop Up magazine. I've been on Road and Track magazine, the original Hot Rod magazine. So thankfully, there's something you and I have in a cultural commonality.
Yes, certainly.
Because I used to be a judge at Concours d'Elegance about fancy cars, custom cars, all kinds of stuff. So we don't dare talk about that any further, because the show will go till next Tuesday talking about cars. So I have to put all of this away now that we can finally get a start.
Sure.
I find out something that's very consistent with people who have, say, a single career, and in your case, you have this multidisciplinary type of career. So it's a series of careers starting at different times, but still it's quite a blend, all kind of concurrent. What I find it is common, there is a thread of something in your very, very early life that's very consistent that led to points on this career path. And I'm looking at the area between 3 years old and 5 years old. And I know everybody, see the look on your face, I can't remember anything like that, but I can assure you, people sit on that couch and they give it a little bit of thought. And what I'm looking at is what we call these little snippets of memory.
Sure.
Something that might be delightful or totally frightening. They're there, they pop up once in a while, and you have no idea what that was, when that was, and it doesn't connect to anything. But there are these little tiny spots that are very consistent that lead to a little bit later thoughts that you can actually remember time and place and content. So you got that look on your face. It's completely correct. It's like, oh, I got a couple of these things.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, so you got one.
Yeah.
Well, let's get started.
Well, I grew up and my dad was a fine artist, a cartoonist. And so I was always around him creating things. And so maybe it could have been that. It could have also been, not to include your past history, but like trips to Disneyland, I think were very inspiring for a young person to realize that there's a whole world out there, And I think that's maybe what informed my life, but also watching my dad be a, what do you call it? Somebody who works for himself. Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Right.
In other words, a person that would rather create, be himself, but not be employed by somebody else to do work for them. He'd rather do this his own. Is that right?
I think so. And I think I only lasted at every job for about 4 years until I realized, dude, I got to figure something else out, because it was just creatively stifling, And I think seeing him be his own boss gave me the courage to leave any job and just do YouTube and my other stuff full time.
So you're lucky in that you're young enough that you had this, let's say, the social media world. We have the YouTubes. We're full up to worldwide TikTok now. The kind of things that persons of my generation up to the 90s, let's say, it was not tools at their fingertips.
No, not at all.
The industry controlled everything. Maybe up to 1956, the music industry was controlled by the Johnny Mercers, the Decca Records, and a kid out of Tennessee with a guitar showed up and says, "No, I'm going to do it my way." And then all the guitar shops sold guitars to all the other kids in America, and literally overnight, the music industry was now controlled by young people doing a bunch of gigs and then putting a funny name on their gigs, and some became incredibly famous. The Stones, I mean, England, stuff like that.
But I think even Alan Freed still controlled the music industry for a long time because he was in charge of playing the records, and if you didn't play the record, then who would hear it?
Yeah, folks like him, they saw the talent of these kids. You're not going to stop them.
Right.
Why don't you go in there and manage it?
Right.
Yeah.
But you still had this gate that you had to get through, and that was Alan Freed or whatever DJ. Now you don't because of the internet. You know.
So you didn't necessarily have any gates. All you had to do was download the app for somebody and just go do it.
Right.
Is that right?
Well, you know, so in my band, the Hula Girls, we've played all over the place, and we've played, you know, for almost no money, and we've played for like a bunch of money at different times. And we're finally at a place where we're like headlining events, but it, you know, you still had to go through the digging the hole, you know what I mean? Doing the work.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's any shortcut, but it's at least you can get the music to the people directly. You don't have to wait for some DJ to play it, you know?
There's another curious thing. I noticed that people know you so well by watching the Breezeway show. Tell me, you have an artifact that is so recognizable for somebody my age, the Bogart Hat.
Oh, this thing?
Yes. Did you consciously make an effort to look at the African Queen movie and watch Humphrey Bogart?
Wow.
And that boat with that poor lady who's rented your boat, and you're sort of like a captain of a ship, but your ship was such a failed runt that your cap looks like a failed runt captain.
I know. My hat's been beat up.
And a boat so bad, that was the only one she could afford, and that was your boat.
Yeah.
If you ever go back and look at black and white movies of that era with Katharine Hepburn and Mr. Bogart, you will see that cap, and I think you will you'll have a picture in your mind that says, "No wonder Spike is so authentic."
Oh.
There's something about an authenticity of an iconic object, and this. You probably never had anybody point that out to you and tell you about that. But that's the first thing I noticed about you. It set the stage for a characterization that was so unique, laid back, but in anguish at all times. There was problems and things that you were trying to get done, and you could do that. And you accidentally, if you didn't actually chose it, you picked the perfect fit for your beard and your face and your background setting for the Breezeway show. And you did not know that.
I think it may have been a little subliminal. I've been wearing this hat for about 15 years.
Yes, I can tell, yes.
Well, yeah, I know. But my friend Pinup Palmer was like, she's like, "So are you trying to look like a sea captain?" And I was like, I don't think so. But maybe I am.
Yeah, because, well, a sea captain.
Do girls like sea captains?
Well, no, a sea captain implies a little bit more responsibility.
Oh.
Okay, a boat like the African Queen, which led to the Jungle Cruise, a boat that Walt Disney put in Disneyland.
Oh, is that the lineage?
Yes,
Oh.
because one of the art directors said, "Oh, we're going to have a Jungle Cruise. Oh, we're going to have boats that look just like the African Queen," because the artist at that time grew up in that era.
Okay.
Harper Goff. He played a banjo, had kind of a funny looking face, always dressed kind of funny anyway.
Yeah.
And he set the stage for what you're going to see in the Jungle Cruise. And then you just told me a little while earlier, going to Disneyland
Yeah.
was one of the sparks. You probably rode the Jungle Queen and didn't know it, and you wind up wearing Humphrey Bogart's hat. So there is the visual spike that everybody understands. See, kids, you know this now, don't you? All right, okay.
He decoded it. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, all right. All right. So at the same time, when you start, this is another thing I find out. People that get into some kind of a career, maybe their family's got some money or something. They say, "Oh, we're going to go to a school or a training or some kind of official, learn how stuff's supposed to be done."
Right.
That's the classical way people do stuff. But what I'm very interested is folks like yourself that suddenly have an interest. Oh, I'd like to do that. Oh, I could do that. Oh, I could do that. Oh, were you like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
You could just, and no fear?
No, well, and I think that was also instilled by my dad because I'd see him in the backyard working with wood tools and stuff, saws and stuff. And it never occurred to me that that was a dangerous thing to do or like it was out of my reach or anything, even building cars and hot rods and stuff. It's just, of course I can do that. You just got to, kind of figure it out as long as you go.
Yeah, well, I can understand, let's say the physical stuff, you do in your own yard with your own car and everything.
Sure, yeah.
But let's say once you become, slide into being a public figure, which YouTube is an entry point for anybody who just says, oh, I'll get the app and I'll start doing something, post it and see what happens, versus the person who goes to school, spends some time and some money and some professional training, they eventually get to the spot you would be at.
Oh, sure.
But there's something different. The professionally trained have a kind of an overeducated, slightly stiffer presentation if they're in some kind of media. But kids, just remember this. Don't be afraid to do your own thing, your own way, within reason, because you will have an automatic characterization. You already have your persona. You don't want to get too professional, because being professional, you'll accidentally wipe out your interesting characteristics. And one of the reasons I'm saying this is if you go and look at this African Queen movie in black and white, you'll find the primary actor and actress in that movie both had a speaking deficit. Humphrey Bogart had a small lisp that he couldn't do anything with, but this was a manly type of lisp, which made him much more formidable as a very individual type of person. And yes, he's trained as a movie star, but he never let that get in his way, and he was able to kind of use it. Katharine Hepburn, exactly the same way. You'll see if you watch a Katharine Hepburn movie, she had certain little quirks that somebody would say, well, that's not so good. However, a real person looks like a real person, and especially the ones that are untrained, like yourself, have something that you have an innate charm on screen, even though it might be a TV. Everybody sees you on the phone probably,
Right.
that says, oh, I got to come back and watch more of this. And I think there's an essence in a person retaining a self-taught personality. They might not recognize that's what they're doing because they're just doing it anyway. But I think that's a very valuable trait. Do you ever run across talking to other people about when you see other people with nice skills?
Well, I'm sorry. What do you mean?
Well, I'm talking about, let's say you have lovely ladies come over if we're going to do some photography. And I have a sense you don't necessarily have to direct them into the shot that you're doing. You let them be themselves.
Absolutely.
For a lens on a camera.
Yeah, especially with more professional or established models. I feel like I just need to shut up and let them do their thing. And I think it takes, how do you put that? I think it takes a little bit of trust to be able to step back and let people do what you brought them there to do,
You feel that's important?
Absolutely. Yeah, I hire people all the time. Even though I can design my own merchandise and stuff, I hire other artists to design my merch because I like what they do. And I never tell them, I give them real loose guidelines. And I say, do what you do. And then I almost never change anything unless it's just glaring and I go, oh, maybe this would be better if you did this or this. But otherwise, you hire people or you bring people into your life because they do things really well, you know?
Well, I see that on your show. Almost every kind of guest that you get there, you engage them with this friendly kind of an attitude without being directorial or anything. And I have a hunch that comes not so much from your training of how to organize a show, it's because you yourself are already that part to begin with. And other persons might sense the fact that, oh, Spike is not going to tell me what to do or anything. Oh, I kind of like this. I get to
run
be
wild.
me. And then I find out he's being him.
Exactly. Yeah. It's funny because sometimes in the comments I get people saying like, oh, this host isn't really doing anything. The other person's doing all the work. And I'm like, I'm just letting them serve the show, you know? And I'm there for the framework and hopefully to be personable and like keep everything moving. But, you know, if somebody's going to be funny on the show or whatever, like somebody like our buddy Justin, you know, you let him run wild. You don't try to tame that guy.
Okay, what Spike is talking about, one of those episodes maybe a year and a half ago or so, was kind of a crazy last minute thing between Justin Scard, Random Lands Scard, and Spike and myself. I didn't know what I was getting into, but I saw immediately that Spike did just what he said he does. He's the framework.
Right.
I could walk into his Breezeway and see a set that's not a professional set. It was just a collection of
stuff.
Jetsam and flotsam from the sea, just sort of piled up, covered in spider webs. It was so real compared to something that's professionally done. And then to find that you were, as in that word, the framer, I think is a very, very good thing, because it is a frame picture when you look at it on your laptop or your phone. And then within that framework, you give people to come with their ideas and play in your space, in your framework, with only minimum suggestions. That's a very important thing. Do you see that in other entertainers or other people, or how some people might?
I don't know if I actually see that often, because I think people want to control things and direct things, and you know, especially in creative avenues. I think, which is also another different talent, but it's just a different way to approach it. But you know, you paid me the nicest compliment I ever heard. The first time you ever came into the Breezeway, I didn't have the show or anything, and you were there for, I think, Justin's birthday or something. And you came in and you said, man, Rolly would love this.
Yes. Well, we're talking about Rolly Crump, one of Walt Disney's best artists a long time. By the way, Chris Crump, Rolly's son, I kind of got him interested in going out and doing shows about not only his father, but his own shows of the career that Chris Crump had, which is entirely different from his. Never tried to emulate his father.
Interesting.
But honors him so much because he could look at how somebody who's self-directed do something, and he could learn from that. And this is the same way, and that's why my comment was, oh, Rolly would have loved this, because it has an inherent honesty of just picked up stuff of the real life of the idea of the word tiki.
And of course, Rolly designed the Tiki room, but you said you also worked on that, right?
The Tiki room was built up in 1962-63 at an extremely high speed. We had a rather small company, Imagineering at that time, and Walt asked everybody who could put their hands on any part of the Tiki room. It's the only attraction I ever saw Disney do where 100%, everything you saw was done by 100% of people in the building. And I mean 100%. We had kids that were just like assistant helpers. They had their hands in green clay, with Blaine Gibson, our lead sculptor, showing Rolly how to do it, Rolly showing everybody else how to do it. So when you go to Tiki Room, either Walt Disney World or Disneyland, everything you see in there was done by loving hands at the last second, because everybody had to do a co-op to get that thing done.
Right.
My only bit was, you see a bird cages, there's some steel tubing, some little bits and pieces, so I was asked to take time out from my big complicated jobs and do that, and then everybody would decorate the bird cage.
Oh, so you made the bird cages?
Yes, the stuff, but you can't see what I did. It's covered up by all this props and dressings.
Flowers and stuff,
the
yeah.
bird sitting in it, yes.
Okay.
So that was a very unique show, how that was, everybody contributed. Everybody had a blast because they were learning to do stuff they never thought they'd ever see and do in their lives.
Sure, yeah.
And that's what I think was the heart of that show. All the art direction, some of the shapes and bits and pieces came out of fingers of untrained people. That was very, very, and it's still there.
Incredible. I know, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What could you offer today to people that watch your show that would like to go off and do something unique in the kind of the directions, not necessarily copying Tiki. You know, you already grabbed the easiest thing in the world, pirates and Tiki. You know, everything else has got to goes downstream from there. Obviously, a lot of people would like to. Oh, you're having so much fun. Oh, I'd like to have fun doing something like.
Sure.
What little suggestions could you give to viewers that might give them a little bit of encouragement to don't be afraid to try stuff, even if it's kind of cuckoo and scary.
Sure.
And just but put your heart into it. What do you think?
I think find something that you have a true passion for, and grind, and just do it and do it and do it. And because it's been about four plus years that I've been doing this show, and I haven't seen meteoric success, but it's been gradual, and it's the numbers keep going up. You know, as far as viewing numbers. So I would say if you really want to do something, then you just need to like commit your whole being to it.
Yeah, that's to commit your whole being, but still have something that you do that makes you a bit of an income so you can eat is another side of things.
Well, you do have to figure out how to monetize that, and you know, there's several different income streams for my show that are everything from Patreon to merch sales to YouTube AdSense to you know, live speaking engagements. Just like you know, you got to figure out all these different avenues in order to make things you know, work for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is most. Any other suggestions you might have for folks that might like to say, "Oh, Spike's doing it. He's having a lot of fun. I'd like to have some fun too. Maybe when I got a different kind of interest." But
I don't know, because it's you know, I hate to ruin the party, but it's not all fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially with my show, at some point you go, I need to like figure out another way to do this so I'm not drinking all the time too. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah. When he says drinking, his show requires props that are alcoholic. But remember, the biggest feature that he has, he understands the authenticity of any type of drinks in the type of world which we now call Tiki, which actually was a lot of places where a ship would crash and everybody's ashore. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to use the local coconuts. We're going to use some of this. And so the idea of the elements that later in more modern times was picked up and said, oh, that's Tiki.
Right.
What that meant, you say the word Tiki to somebody, they know exactly what that means because it's got all that vintage history behind it.
Right.
But in his Breezeway, you can go see this authentic type of feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this has been most interesting. You mentioned that there's hard work to do with that. I won't pester you further about trying to do stuff where the bad side of stuff, no, I wouldn't call it the bad side, but you do have to have a lot of failures. But the super part of failures, which is, you know, is a logical thing, I do it until it doesn't work, and then I can chalk that off and say, I don't ever have to do that again. I have proven what does not work.
Absolutely.
But you never look at something and somebody say, well, that's impossible, kid, don't go ahead and do that. I don't know it's impossible until I do it myself and find out, oh, yeah, it is impossible.
Right.
Do you find it stuff that way?
Failure is, I think, almost more important and more impactful than success. You know, you learn more from failure than you do from success, I believe.
Yeah. Do you have any interesting failures that were quite fun?
Oh, man. I mean, so many times just filming the episodes by myself, like where the audio wasn't turned on or the camera was out of focus. And, you know, you think to yourself, what do I do with this? Do I scrap the whole thing and start over? Or I make a drink wrong and then the internet descends upon me and says, you left out the rum or something like, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, and then going up on stage and playing guitar and screwing up. It's, it makes you say, okay, next time I do this, I'm going to work twice as hard before the show so that it never happens again. And you have to be okay with being embarrassed and just writing it off as a learning experience. You have to be okay with like people seeing you in a very vulnerable state.
You just said the key phrase, be okay with being embarrassed. I think, from my experience, that makes a lot of people, they stop cold right in their tracks.
Totally.
Because they might be a bit overly sensitive to being said, well, that wasn't very good.
Yeah.
That's got to be a hard thing to get past that, where you do. See, you could do a boo-boo on your show, it's not quite so bad, but you do a boo-boo out in public with somebody else's show. Here's a curious thing I have noticed over the years.
Mm-hmm.
You have a tendency to live with the memory of your own bad boo-boo lifelong, but you never stop and think, how many people in that audience will leave, and within a few weeks, your boo-boo is gone out of their memory because it's not a very important thing.
Right.
But you, in your own mind, you will feel bad for like years.
Forever.
Oh my God.
Of course, yeah.
So what can you offer people to say that's an important thing? If you try stuff, it's easy to say, yeah, go ahead and try it. But that little psychological thing inside that says you have to not be so critical of yourself and recognize the boo-boos in life are going to be there, but those are the things that are the little things that you put in the back of your mind, as you say, don't ever let that happen again.
Yeah.
And that lets you get more and more comfortable at doing stuff which I've said is in public.
Yeah, sure.
Because I had times when I was younger than 20 that I did boo-boos and embarrassments before large industry people in the car industry that just almost stalled me.
Of course.
And then I wound up one day being taken to a cocktail lounge area at the old Pan Pacific Auditorium to meet the president of General Motors. And they're all in suits, and I'm in squeaky huaraches and a torn T-shirt because my instructor was a very good instructor and said, you're going to meet these guys. This is going to be your industry. I got all the way to the door, and something in that moment said, shut up and go in. You're as good as anybody you're going to meet. And I met some of the nicest people, one of which was the vice president of Buick division. And I saw him later at the Pebble Beach car show, brought the question up. And he says, yes, I remember you came in there with Brother Mike. Man, you're a teacher. So that was something he remembered as positive, which I remembered as just before I went in the door was mortified.
Totally.
So that's a tough one. I'm not sure.
I don't think there's any way to teach people that, or I don't know if there's any lesson to get. I think people have to either figure it out for themselves or just be tortured by it forever. I don't know if there's any answer to that.
Yeah, but maybe just like you and I are talking about it, we're letting it be more visible to some people that watch and think, well, those guys did it. Well, maybe I could do it too. And,
I've had to do like public speaking things before, and you got something on your face like a acne or something like that, and you go, well, what do I do about this? There's no getting around that, and you just have to lean into it and go, okay, you have to be okay with it.
Yeah, that's a harder one than the broccoli and teeth, which you can't do something with.
Well, at least you can get a toothpick for that. But if you
got a boo-boo on the face, it's like,
I know. You can't cancel it. You can't walk away from it. You just have to.
But you can simply acknowledge it's there and carry on.
Yep, absolutely.
Because it is a reality fact right there. No point dwelling on it. No point pointing it out.
I know.
Let it all. Yeah.
But it's probably the hardest lesson in life to learn.
Okay. So, how about we have some fun?
Okay. After all that heavy talk, right?
I keep looking at a bar. We got a bar over here. We got nice sets with all kinds of stuff. And I keep looking at stuff over there, and I'm seeing a bottle of rum. I don't recognize the label on it. Is there any way that we could stop talking and go over there and take a look?
I would love that.
You want to do that?
Let's go get a drink.
Oh, right. I'm going to put my pen. Come on, let's go.
All right.
All right.
Bob, I had no idea you had a tiki bar.
Oh, we're equipped for everything in this place. We even can do haunted movies.
Oh, really?
In the front of this building, in the accessory room,
Uh-huh.
it's a sort of a walk-in sidewall church.
Okay.
Yes, okay. It's got 40 chairs.
Amazing.
Yes, all right.
Well, since you were at my house last, I produced this rum called the Breezeway blend.
This is your own mix.
Uh-huh.
Do you actually grow the agave?
Well, that would be tequila.
Oh, well, okay.
Sugar.
Oh,
it's
sugar
cane.
cane.
Yeah,
Okay,
totally.
all right.
But I would like to have a tequila also.
Yeah. Do you get the sugar cane? Do you grow it or you steal it? How do you do that?
Yeah, we steal it. No, it's from Jamaica. So Jamaica and West Indies. So
The music. I've been to Jamaica.
I'm going to Jamaica in like a week on a
God,
cruise.
That's why the rum always tastes so good.
I know. It's reggae.
I've been there.
Well, I want to make a cocktail for you using the Breezeway blend.
Okay.
It's called a sunken cork. Remember the last time we did the show together? What a mess that was? We made
A sunken cork. This implies that whatever you've got in here, it creates a vacuum and pulls the cork all the way down in. Ooh. Oh, this means it's vacuum packed. I got it. Okay.
That's exactly
All
it.
right, keep
Okay,
going.
what do we need? Let's start with a shaker tin here.
All right.
And we're going to move some of these things out of the way. And the measuring guy. Okay, we need to use fresh juices. That's always the key to a good
I
cocktail.
have never seen something this brilliant. Instead of trying to read it like that.
Oh, yeah, huh?
Look at this. You can't see it here, but it's a 45-degree angle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can see it there.
Yeah.
I can simply hold it and I can read the whole thing. That is very clever.
Yeah.
You have the best tools here, I must say. Let's keep
I mean, I didn't invent that thing or anything, but thank you.
Oh, you have a ceramic knife.
I have a ceramic knife. We should probably be using
It's
that.
not even metal.
No, we should probably be using a cutting board, huh?
No, because this is completely pure. You're not getting metal fragments or anything when you cut something.
Oh,
See how
okay.
it cut?
yeah. It cut very nicely. Okay, so why don't we squeeze, let me see here, 1 ounce. We need 1 ounce of lime juice. You wanna squeeze an ounce in there?
Okay. Take that. We load that one up down in here.
Yeah, the other way, face down.
Get it all the way so it loads correctly.
You gotta turn it over the other way.
All right, now we put it right over the top of that,
Okay.
and we give it the squeeze. Oh, I see, because it has to open the pipe
Yeah.
there. All right. How much of it you want? A half ounce?
Well, we need 2 ounces.
Oh my God. Why do you have the seniors do this stuff?
Sorry.
I'm a 93-year-old squeezer. Look
You're
at that.
93 years old.
Yeah.
That is wild, isn't it?
Yeah, and you hand me something here that doesn't have a hydraulic cylinder on it.
Well,
Look at
it's got more lever action than most ones. You want me to do the
well,
rest?
how about I hand you this,
Okay.
and you put it in, and then you load it.
Okay, let's try it the other way.
And
Turn
then-
it over
Oh, which way you want it?
like this.
You want it like, oh, I see.
See, that way the
you didn't
juice
correct
goes.
me the first
Well, I
time.
didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, okay, okay. Now, it's not fair to tease the seniors. Okay, you got a whole ounce in there now.
Well, I know, but we need 1 more ounce.
You got to watch. It's ounces on one side, tablespoons on the other side.
I know. It really screws a lot of people up, too.
Yes, I can. Okay, read it right side only.
As an engineer or a mechanical designer guy, what do you think about the metric system?
We should have had it. Congress almost was going to do it, and we didn't.
Because all those like half ounces and quarter ounces and all that are really confusing.
Well, we could have used the whole British system.
Yeah.
We'd be using crowns and shuffles and whatever, all these things that you measure
Stones?
with. We'd have Armstrong Whitworth wrenches. Oh, my goodness.
I know.
Okay, well, almost, look,
Okay, there we go.
almost 2. Look at that.
Okay.
Okay.
2 ounces. Now you want to pour that into here.
All right, pour that in there.
Okay.
For all that work, watch out the seniors. They say, they start to do, no, it's automatic shaking. Just by holding it, you automatically shake everything.
Okay, and then we need 1 ounce of orange juice.
Okay.
So I'm going to cut this guy in half. And I'm just going to squeeze. Hopefully we can use this thing here. I'm going to make sure I don't want to block any of the cameras. Really is a mess making tiki cocktails, isn't it?
You have to use a smaller orange.
I know, but oh man, sorry, I'm spraying Bob Gurr with orange juice here. like a party. What do you think? You think that's enough, or should we do a little bit more?
Yeah. How many ounces do you need?
Well, we need 1 ounce.
1 ounce. Yeah.
Okay, a little more.
Let's do a little more. Okay.
Okay, I drip some on the
Coming
ground.
up, coming up, coming up. Right there. You got it.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You can read that right from here.
I know, it's easy. Okay, you want to pour that into here?
All right, we take that and pour that very carefully in here.
Okay.
I don't need to pour it carefully because you're going to mix it anyway. I just pre-mix.
Totally.
All right.
Okay, the next thing we're going to do is passion fruit or passionola. So that's this stuff, passionola.
Passionola. Uh-huh. Ooh, tropical passion fruit cocktail mix. Oh, it's a mixer.
Yeah,
Got it.
but it's like berries and stuff. Okay, how much do we need? We need 1 ounce of this. So,
All right, so we do that.
okay.
The more I see this is a brilliant thing.
I know, you're really a big fan of these things, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, there's your 1 ounce. You want to pour that in there?
All right, we'll do that. Okay.
All right.
That's
Now, if we wanted
a little thicker, yeah, it takes a while for it to come out. Okay, there you go.
If we wanted to be really precise, then we would be straining all this stuff so there's no extra gunk getting in here. But you know, it's good to have a little bit of.
Yeah, this is hard stuff. We just go straight forward.
That's right. Okay, and then 3/4 ounce of falernum.
What is falernum?
Falernum is oh my gosh, is almond. It's like an almond liqueur.
Ooh.
Or almond syrup. Okay, so 1.5 ounces.
This is going to taste good.
Yeah, well, it's not a diet drink, that's for sure.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Were you supposed to do that?
Oh, well, that's all right. I'll pour the dregs.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Now it's completely thorough.
Okay, and then most cocktails have about 2 ounces of spirit. I know you're not much of a drinker anymore, right?
Well, that's all right. I only have to drink a little bit.
Oh, okay, that's okay. Well, we're gonna do 2 ounces per drink.
Okay. All right. There you go.
And this is the Breezeway blend.
All right.
One of the fanciest unaged rums that you can get.
Okay.
You want to smell that?
Ooh, that is nice.
Yeah, it's got like a little bouquet to it, right?
Yeah. It doesn't have that kind of light, sort of raw bite.
Yeah, you were gonna say lighter fluid, kind of.
Yeah.
That's the flavor.
There's all kinds of rums, and some of them they sniff good, and then the first time you have it a little bit to taste it, it's like, ooh,
Yeah,
it hurts.
Yeah, it's not good.
But this one, okay.
Okay, we're gonna put some ice in this thing. You know what I just realized is we don't have glasses.
How about a mug? How about a tiki mug?
Would it be a Gurr tiki mug?
Oh, yeah, look at here.
Oh, you got 2 of them right
Watch
there.
out, those are plastic up there. You got to take those out.
They're already garnished. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
Have these been dusted?
Yeah,
that's okay.
That doesn't matter.
Nah, it
because,
doesn't matter.
Your rum is going to kill it anyway.
That's right. The
It's
rum
all
will take care of it. Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna take this
Turn these to the camera, please.
and this.
Those are mine.
I know that's your face.
Yeah.
Oh, pardon me. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and shake it real quick.
Okay.
Riveting television, I know. Okay. And we're gonna pour it into your head and into your other head. Okay.
I like the way you point that out. You notice?
Oh, I don't have a tiki mug of my head.
No, but see,
This is how you know you've succeeded.
I have a head because they've removed my brain. That's why we have room to put that.
See. Can you hand me the soda water, please?
Which one?
Soda water, that little blue guy there.
Soda water. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, so we're gonna add in 1 ounce of soda water to each one. Now, you know why we do that after we shake?
Why?
So it doesn't explode all over the place.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's 1 ounce here for you, and 1 ounce here. Ooh, look at that, perfect.
Otherwise, all that carbon dioxide just explodes everything.
I know.
All right.
Okay, and then we are going to finish by more ice on top.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, the bigger ice, the one that's more like showbiz type ice, you know, decorate only on the top.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so there's that. Now we're gonna garnish with some pineapple spears.
All right.
You wanna sink this right down in the back of your drink there?
Yes, all right.
Okay.
Just like that. Okay, well, that makes them look really cute. Look at that. Wow. That's kind of nice. Oh, couple more of you.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, wait, are we done garnishing it, you think? Or you want an orange
How about
slice?
straws?
We don't have any straws. Oh, wait.
Where's the straws? Oh,
I got a straw. You got a
that's
straw?
what that is. I thought that was bamboo. No.
Okay. Well, I love that song.
Yeah, it works. Okay, that's
And so from the Breezeway,
yeah.
this is the sunken cork out of Bob Gurr's head.
And what do we call this officially?
Sunken cork. Call us a good time.
Okay.
Cheers, Bob.
This is Brain Tiki.
Thank you for having. Cheers.
Yes, all
Thank you for
right.
having me on your
Thank you
show.
very much.
All right.
Oh, that is
wow.
smooth.
That is really good.
Oh my goodness. You have got no wonder you make your own rum. Look at that.
Yeah, that'll catch up to you, though, won't it?
Well, I think it just did. See, watch.
Oh my God. Well.
Yeah, it worked.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So anyway, I already.
By the Breezeway plan.
Thank you for coming on my show here.
Yeah.
Anytime I get to hang out with you, it's totally fun.
Thank you so much. I would say the
So
same.
I'm so glad that we didn't do this before we did the show here,
Well, yeah.
because I'm so glad we're doing this at the after part, because somebody's going to drive me home, I think. This time.
That's right.
Anyway, would you come back someday? We might
Absolutely.
do another kind of a set of subjects.
Yeah.
Because as you know, you have about 27 different careers all running in parallel.
I do.
So we could dive into any one of them, but this is the Breezeway, your initial one at the Bob Gurr Show, featuring Spike and Breezeway.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Terrific. Okay, thank you all very much.
Aloha.